Hi, my name is Spencer Siefke. I'm the owner and purveyor of Wabi Wear Repair, and these are my lessons learned. So Wabi Wear Repair, we get clothes from landfills overseas from Pakistan, Egypt, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, and Moldova. We get them in damaged and medium to well condition. We get them imported, sanitized, repaired, and put them back out for people to buy. There's so many different smattering of things I've learned, but really just like customer interactions is like the biggest goal. I mean, like I've talked to people my entire life, but just like learning what people actually want versus just like assuming like what they want and the things that I think are cool. It's just learning like customer base is the most important thing that I've learned over a longer period of time of owning a business. Having no expectations, like preconceived notions for what I think is cool, but like understanding what the people come in and like learning over a period of time. Like I really like what I like, but that may not be like the vast majority of what other people like, but customers also enjoy someone who is very passionate about a thing as well, so it goes hand in hand. People who don't really buy clothes for the utility of it, it's more just like the fashion. I know that's like a kind of a weird thing to say, like that's a very obvious thought, but as someone who's been in the backpacking industry and like outdoors, something that's like, you know, Gore-Tex and like fleece that likes tactile, that keeps you like safe in the environment versus like, it just looks cool or neat, but also like I think brands that like take something that's utility but also add fashion to it to make it worthwhile, to make it last longer is the goal, to give it a second life. As someone who's a big Patagonia guy, like I love outdoor industry clothes, stuff like that. However, I'll sell camo. I think camo is kind of cool and in right now. It is like within the outdoor industry and stuff, but like as someone who's never worn camo my entire life, I do think some of the older like vintage like illustrated patterns of camo are cool and people like them. And they're never really gonna fall out of full style because people will still buy them, but I have rent, so I still have to sell things that are in trend, but I'm not as passionate about. Be able to balance like not overbuying. That's the big thing, especially because like how the current economic climate where we're going into now, if you were to buy too much and then the economy were to dump out, I'd be stuck with an excess of inventory. That would still be worthwhile in another economy, but I'd be sitting on it and then still have to pay rent. So that's the thing I'm having to ensure to balance right now, is not dumping all the money I just made into more stuff. Balancing taxes well in advance is the thing I'm trying to make sure I'm on top of. Ensuring like once again, I'm not buying too much, and just it's just like making sure I know like on top of like what people want and just people coming in and just being me. That's the big goal. Like people don't like an inauthentic store. Like I think my last major lesson that I learned was just I think store layout was the other thing, was like understanding like flow of like how people want to shop and like interact with your stuff. You can't just own cool stuff in a pile in the middle of a room. That likely won't get people to want to buy things. But I learned a lot of those lessons not just from like the store here, but when I was doing pop-ups. You only have a 10 by 10 square to like, you know, get that first initial reaction, and it's either do want to come in or they don't. So having like a good layout and like have people like come in, it's really hard to get people to like turn their head and then come into a store when they're already walking in a straight line. So it's like be able to grab people for that like 3 seconds walking past the store is the biggest hurdle I've been trying to get over. I think having a little sandwich board in the middle of the walkway, a little flag, having the door open, a rack of clothes, and then music just loud enough to hear to catch as well. And then also me being in the window sewing. That's like another thing, is like, oh, an activity. I always thought it was really cool, like in Gatlinburg, you'd see like the candy makers in the window, just like making like the hard candies in the window. It's like a thing to watch versus just like, oh, there's a stagnant store, someone at a shelf just like arms leaned over on their phone. I like doing things in my spare time. I'm not like, if you're not watching me, I am doing stuff when you walk away from the store. Yeah, so when people immediately walk in, versus having like the fleece and stuff, it's currently like the warmer season right now. So having like t-shirts and we've got like ice cream, popsicles in the front, and so like we've got like a quick little snack, we've got teas like running the entire length of the store, and then we have like art on the exact back wall, so it's like a pop of color, something like very punchy, and like it shows like the depth of the whole room in one shot, and it has like a bit of like verticality. But once you walk, you start turning the corner, there's like so much more to see. When you walk in, we've got the displays, cool jackets in the center, and like, oh, fleece, oh wow, like it's not the right season right now, but I'll look at these, I've got a little time, like a little fun little jaunt. And then like you turn the corner in the back area, you see the front of the store. When you walk in, you can see like the cabinet, like me behind there. I generally greet every customer at this point, but I'm trying to over talk. I'm a bit of a yapper. I love talking, but whenever selling to customers, people don't like being too shopped on top of them. So I like being able to do an activity like the bartender trick of like cleaning a glass and like making them like a secondhand thing. I sew and do on projects so they don't feel like they're sat on top of. I also, a lot of stuff I sell, not to sound pompous, it's all really cool stuff, so it kind of just does sell itself. So I don't need to like explain details of something. People like what they want and they're looking for a certain thing already. I I think just ask a bunch of other small businesses like in like their own niche, like how they started, like in areas. I recommend doing pop-ups versus getting a physical storefront. I think that's a huge boon. You gain more social media followers and people who like want to see you succeed, and you can figure out what does work and what doesn't work.